Hi, my name is Alex Carr. I'm a Geographic Information Systems student at Uni College in Maine. This project identifies high-risk zones for wildfire in and abutting Eagle, Colorado. The expected audience for this product are Eagle City and Eagle County planners and zoning departments. Additionally, this product could be used by firefighting agencies, state foresters, and wildfire mitigation experts. The focus area for my study is Eagle and a half-kilometer buffer around the city limits. I am using the latest municipal boundary data from Colorado View. The city is bordered in red. This is the incorporated portion of Eagle. And the half-kilometer buffer is bordered in blue. Because fire does not respect political boundaries and flying embers can travel quite a distance, I chose a half-kilometer as a study buffer. Eagle has seen substantial growth over the past 20 years. The Census Bureau reports that the population more than doubled from 2000 to 2010 and is expected to top 7,000 in 2020. As such, human-driven development is moving into the mountains, hills, and forests surrounding Eagle. This human movement has increased the wildland-urban interface in Eagle. The wildland-urban interface is a term used by planners and firefighters to describe human development that abuts wildlands and poses significant threats for wildfire. In the next 3 slides, I will show the changes since 1990 to the wildland-urban interface. This is the wildland-urban interface in 1990. As you can see, the areas in orange represent areas of concern. In 1990, these were relatively small and directly abutting the city of Eagle. This is the wildland-urban interface in 2000. As you can see, the area to the north has grown in size, as well as an area just north of I-70 and an area to the east of Eagle. This is a slide of the year 2010. As you can see, there's been slight growth in both areas to the north of I-70 and Eagle, and a significant increase to the south and to the east of Eagle. This is Eagle Ranch. What we know is from the slides is that wildland-urban interface increased over 30 years. With that is an increase in the wildfire risk and potential damage to property, injury, or loss of life. What is happening in Eagle and where is the development happening? This is a 2013 zoning map for Eagle, and it is the current one on their website. This clearly shows extensive development in and around Eagle, especially in the Eagle Ranch community around the Eagle Golf Course. In fact, in 2013, the Eagle County Community Wildfire Protection Plan identified Eagle Ranch in their wildfire plan as a hazard. What do we see from the aerial view? This one is from Google Earth, and it is a composite picture of 3 images put together. We can see I-70. We can see the Eagle River. We can see downtown Eagle. We can see the agricultural area to the south and to the east. We can see the Eagle Ranch golf course, and we can see development that is taking place. This area to the south and the east has begun development. However, it is not fully developed, as the zoning slide indicated. How can Eagle planners update their understanding of wildfire risk? In order to look at a composite picture of wildfire risk zones in Eagle, we have to understand the hazards that make up a high wildfire risk. These are slope, these are fuels, in this case vegetation, and this is vegetation health. For the purposes of understanding slope as it pertains to wildfire risk, anything less than 20 degrees is considered lower risk. This does not mean it is zero risk. Anything from 20 to 45 degrees is medium to high wildfire risk, and anything greater than 45 degrees is at extreme risk for wildfire. Using digital elevation models, one can analyze the slope on a given area. Here we used 10-meter data from USGS. Using the three mentioned slope classes, we can see the area in tan that is a lower risk for wildfire. The area in gray is a medium to high risk, and the areas in red are extreme slope risk for wildfire. These are the red areas, these are the gray areas, and the tan areas. The area in red hash marks are visual groupings of the two top slope risk areas. Notice the extensive groupings around Eagle Ranch community. Next, we'll look at the next wildfire hazard, that being fuels. Fuels and how the fuels, in this case land cover, changed over time. In the following three slides, I will look at the 2000 to 2017 change in fuels in Eagle, Colorado. These are satellite images on the top of the screen, and these are computer-generated classifications of the same satellite images on the bottom of the screen. What we can see in these two images are the different land covers. We can see around Eagle Golf Course the development and progress of the course itself and of the homes. These are represented by these areas here. Notice there is less bare ground or sandy areas and more vegetation in the south on the 2017 image. A computer classification was done, which is represented by the bottom two images, and it indicates significant change in grass and vegetation over time from 2000 to 2017, as can be indicated in the south by Eagle Ranch, compared to the sandy or bare ground in 2000. Put into table format on the next slide, we can see the change as a percentage. This slide details the change in the natural land cover around Eagle, Colorado. As you can see, grass has grown and vegetation and riparian growth has grown. Grass indicates growth mostly related to humans, such as the golf course or parks and lawns in the city of Eagle. The vegetation growth or riparian growth is mostly related to vegetation in the mountainsides and hills. This is a factor or a hazard in our wildfire risk matrix. When we do a binary classification of the entire area, we can see significant change across Eagle. The yellow represents no change. The red represents change. For most of the slide, we have seen more growth of vegetation in the hills, valleys, and mountains around Eagle, which represents more fuel load risk for our wildfire model. Next, we'll look at fuels, in particular the fuel composition of our fuel load matrix. This is land cover data from the Colorado Forest Atlas. Of significant concern or hazard are the brown areas. These are pinyon and juniper. They represent a moderate fire load. Next are the tan areas in the hills and valleys. This is shrubland, which represents a higher fire load risk. Lastly, we will look at fuels and their fuel load health. This satellite spectral analysis image displays the health of the vegetation in Eagle. The more healthy areas are in green, the least or dead in red. One can see the golf course and agricultural area in 2000 and 2017. There is a degradation in the agricultural area in 2017, but the parks and grass in downtown as well as the golf course look healthy in 2017. What is dramatic is the overall decrease in health of the vegetation in the mountains and hills around Eagle, represented by the more red in the outlying areas. The next slide gives some indication as to the why. This is a graph of drought conditions in Colorado between 2000 and 2020. The scale is abnormal to severe drought. We can see 2 major and 3 moderate droughts between 2000 and 2017. This can attribute the degradation in vegetation health in the 2017 spectral analysis. Finally, I'll generate a composite picture of wildfire risk zones in Eagle. In the composite, I took the slope areas and overlaid them with the fuels areas. I mapped areas where medium to high slope and medium or high low load fuels came together. This graphic shows the zones I visually mapped as high wildfire risk zones for Eagle, inside the half-kilometer buffer. The area where shrubland as well as pinyon juniper came in contact with medium to high slope areas were mapped in gray. Because wildfire does not respect lines on a map, I connected various small groupings of slope risk together to make larger contiguous zones. Notice the groupings in Eagle Ranch and to the south and to the east, as well as to the east and north of Eagle. These represent high wildfire risk zones. Eagle, Colorado, along with the rest of the American West, faces significant risk for wildfire. Increased development and increases in the wildfire-urban interface make this a continuing problem. Eagle and Eagle County may take this study and update their planning documents and firefighting strategies. Thank you.